Yeah, those were about the 3 best shots I've ever hit. So here, no, it's just another day.
All right, we're here with Jordan Spieth. We're gonna have you pick some shots out of this hat, and then we're gonna watch you hit them, and then try to hopefully break down a little bit how you did it.
And judge me.
And I might judge you just
All right. Off the tee, fairway finder.
Fairway finder off the tee. That's gonna be very useful for me. Okay.
160 yard high draw.
High draw. Okay. Number 3, our grand finale.
Your pick, favorite shot.
Favorite shot to hit.
That's so nice.
That's
easy.
so
Great.
They could have been so much meaner to you.
Yes, they could have.
All right. First thing you're gonna show us is a fairway finder off the tee.
Okay. If we're looking at irons, via driving iron, 3 iron, and for a fairway finder, I'm going to be looking to hit kind of like a little low fade, a little low bleeder. It's one where you're kind of taking your hands out of it. You're using your body to hit the shot. I'm trying to get out of the way, get really open, get really through it, and then leave that handle, turn that face down, lead with that handle, and then just hold.
Okay.
So if I can get out in front of it with my arms, everything sequencing together, it's actually a pretty easy shot to feel stable. And then the more I want to hold it, the more it cuts.
Talk to me target wise. How do you see shapes? I mean, are you always playing it off something? Or are you playing a...
So I like to pick out what I'm going to start it at. So for me right here, I'm going to try and start it at I kind of have 3 things lining up in one here. I've got the left edge of these first bunkers lines up with the left edge of the second bunkers and that tree that's just next to the second bunkers. So I'm kind of launching it, trying to split that last tree and the left edge of those back bunkers there, and then I'm going to bleed this over just into pretty much in the middle of the back bunker to just at the right side of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I see it. I didn't explain it as well as I see it.
And it just absolutely cannot go left. Physics say it can't go left.
I won't hit this shot left. If anything, it overbleeds slightly, and that's fine. Fairway found.
Easy.
I had no concerns of it going left. I felt in the middle of the swing, I felt that I got my mid-spine, I felt like I got turned and set and I didn't lean, so I didn't lose space, meaning I could hit it right. So I got out in front of it, and for me, it's all about the left hand. Yeah. Like I do a lot of things left-handed, so maybe this doesn't translate. A lot of people like to think right-handed. I like to think that the back of my left hand, I turned it down and I just held it. I held it. So there's really no rotation through to the face, so I couldn't hit it left. And I just felt like I got out in front of it and I just held it. So that face was so stable, it was just gonna launch where I was lined up, and it was just gonna have a little bit of that cut spin. So
have you always been like a shot shaper? What kind of game did you have as a kid, iron-wise?
I was a drawer of the golf ball. I very rarely moved the ball left to right, mainly for distance, and I think that's pretty normal for junior golfers. Draws go further. I would swing underneath, use a little bit more of my hands, and then as I got into kind of my probably 15, 16 years old and started to actually have speed, then I started to develop more of like a zero path to be able to work the ball both ways.
So unpack that a little bit. Why is that for people that don't realize? Because I feel like every really talented junior golfer comes up that same way and is hitting hard draws, probably trying to hit it further.
Yep.
But what is it more you can control the fade, or what is it for you?
Well, I think you have less variables in a fade. Kind of in the 2015 time frame for me, I started to actually play fades with my longer clubs under pressure.
How did that go?
And it went well. I think of like a tee shot I hit at the US Open on the 72nd hole at Chambers Bay. I didn't try and force a draw up the right side. I hit this little peeler fade that I knew was going to be in the fairway because I knew I could reach the green in 2. Whether I had a 3-iron or a 3-wood, it didn't matter. I was trying to make a 4. So situations like that where, especially with the driver, where your body gets a little bit quick, if you're playing draw, you have to be a little bit behind it to swing out to the right. And if that's the case, you're just relying on a closed face to path that has to match up, and it's just a little bit harder. And so the fades, look at some of the best ball strikers in the world, I would say 75%, 80% of the guys that you're talking about primarily move the ball left to right. So on this shot on a high draw from 160, I've got to take a little bit off. So I'm going to do that in more of a 3/4 motion. And then I'm going to try to be just as aggressive into the ball as I would be on a full one. Swing speed will drop down just because my range of motion is shorter. What I will be doing to hit it high then is I'm actually letting a little bit of this D-loft out, but I'm doing it late. So I'm not trying to throw it out of here. which is a big left thing, I'm bringing it in still lean, and then I'm just letting that loft just kind of catch up ever so slightly. But that face stability will still be there because it's already done ahead of time. So shorter range of motion to take a little off, aggressive, and then turn that face down as I'm coming in.
There it was.
Yeah, and it's just, it hung, about 5 yards right, which is honestly pretty much what I was explaining. I want that, if anything, it has draw spin, it's working towards the hole, and it never crosses over the hole. If you start training that way, it's so much easier to play the game because you're missing on the fat parts of the greens.
We hit our fairway finder first. So let's say you're trying to, leave yourself the best number possible, best shape possible. What are you going for? What's an ideal when you see it? You can't wait to hit the shot.
I'd be looking at like a 9-iron, be like 150 to 155 yards, and the shot plays for like just a tight fade. What I want to see is I want to be launching it on my body line or a little left of my body line. And then I don't want to have to feel like I roll it open or anything. You never want to feel that. For me, I just want to feel like I hold that face so stable, and the fade spin is created by swinging just slightly across my body.
Okay.
Launch just left of my body lines. It's kind of riding the wind back to the hole, and it never crossed over the hole.
Might have gone in. We can't see it, but that was on a pretty good line. All right, Jordan, thank you. I'm going to review that tape 60 or 70 times, and I think I'm gonna have it down.
Sweet.